During the last final exam, I was the proctor. When the exam ended, all 48 students had lost their lives. The police immediately suspected me, but the autopsy results showed that all the students had taken their own lives. Therefore, I was released without charges. 3 years later, a medical student found me.
You made them do it, didn't you? I already know what question you gave the students that day.
All right, it was me. Facing this unexpected visitor, I continued cutting meat as usual, getting ready for today's lunch. I even turned around and warmly invited her. Come on, perfect timing for lunch. Let's eat and talk. Sarah was somewhat surprised by my frankness, but her gaze lingered on my kitchen knife for a few seconds before she sat down nervously. Many people have come looking for me these past few years. You're not the only one, I said, putting the prepared ingredient into the pot. After adjusting the heat, I sat across from her. But you're the first to guess that I gave them a question. Sarah suddenly stood up.
So you really?
Only then did I realize she was testing me. Since that was the case, she probably didn't know the content of the question either. So I laughed. Do you think it's possible? One question making 48 students willingly kill themselves? Sarah slowly sat back down. My expression changed. But I can do it. Sarah was a medical school student who had assisted in the autopsy of that mass case 3 years ago. She didn't believe 48 people would simultaneously choose to end their time, so she spent 3 years searching through all the materials, discovering that although it was supposed to be a final exam that day, no test papers were ever found from beginning to end. She boldly speculated that I had given them some kind of question myself.
But how is this possible? All 48 students were wealthy second-generation kids with bright futures ahead of them. Not one of them had a history of mental illness. How could they make an irreversible choice because of one question from you?
The kitchen timer rang. I got up to add seasonings, and the aroma of the soup filled the entire room. Sarah swallowed almost imperceptibly. It'll be ready soon. Dr. Sarah, try some later. This is my specialty. Sarah looked away from the pot.
No need, thank you. Let's talk about those children instead.
I put the lid back on and sat down, casually placing the kitchen knife on the table. Actually, the answer is obvious. Dr. Sarah participated in the autopsy back then. Do you remember the common characteristics of those remains? A flash of compassion crossed Sarah's face.
They were all horrific. Some were damaged to an extremely incomplete state. Even veteran forensic doctors would make mistakes in their judgment.
Unlike her sadness, I smiled slightly, watching her lips slowly curve upward. Sarah couldn't stand it anymore and slammed the table as she stood up.
Are you even human? Those were 48 lives. How can you smile?
My smile instantly turned cold. Let me tell you a story. That's not a story. That's a real experience that happened to me. My wife and I had a daughter. As a teacher at a prestigious academy, I went through great lengths to get her enrolled. Although we knew that with our financial resources we couldn't compare with the young masters and misses at the school, we always fantasized that in this place with concentrated educational resources, our daughter could also have a bright future. However, her grades didn't improve but declined, and she, who used to love laughing, kept a straight face all day. When I asked her classmates, each one claimed they didn't know anything. When she came home disheveled once again, my wife forcibly removed her clothes, even though she had applied a lot of powder on her body. How could my wife, as a doctor, not see that she had been harmed by more than one person? I reported it to the police, but all surveillance records had been erased, and my daughter wouldn't say a word. In the end, the matter was dropped. Sarah gripped the corner of her clothes.
Then you should have transferred her to another school as soon as possible.
I sighed. That's what I planned to do. But the day before the transfer procedures were completed, she lost her life. Sarah almost knocked over her cup.
What was the cause?
The school immediately took the body away, claiming she had contracted a serious infectious disease and needed immediate disposal. My wife and I couldn't stop them.
Mr. Harrison.
Sarah hesitated for a moment before carefully asking,
Do you think they harmed your daughter so you made them lose their lives?
I don't think I have evidence. Sarah tensed up.
Can I see the evidence?
I've already destroyed it. Sarah's muscles slowly relaxed.
Based on your word alone, I cannot rationalize your actions.
No need to rationalize. Sarah clenched her fist.
But even if what you say is true, they didn't deserve to lose their lives. There are laws to judge them. It's not your turn to take their lives.
Ha! I laughed. Who said I took them? Didn't you participate in the autopsy? Was even one of them taken by someone else? Sarah paused. She knew best. 48 remains. Not one had died from homicide. The atmosphere froze. She still wasn't giving up.
Even if everything you said is true, they were a group of extremely selfish people who would only try to save their lives under any circumstances. How could they be willing to make an irreversible choice because of one question?
I laughed with a snort, looking at her. I told you, from beginning to end, I only did one thing. Gave them a question. And I can tell you, each of them got a pretty good score.